Hello and welcome to Jep's Outdoor Adventures. I'm your host Jep. In today's episode, we are going to be testing out Buffalo Bore's 255 grain Hardcasts for the 460 Rowland. It's a round I've had a few people ask me to test, and the caliber itself is one I've had a lot of people tell me about, wanting me to test. Same with the 45 Super. I've not been able to get my hands on any of that yet, but as far as the 460 Rowland goes, long story short, I'm actually pretty happy with it, but there are some things that you need to know about it, and we'll get into that at the end of the video. But I look forward to diving right in. It's been a little bit since I've made a video, especially a video about testing ammunition. I had a knee injury in early January. It was the 8th time my knee dislocated on me forcefully, but that last time it really did some damage. I tore a number of things in there, and I was able to get surgery April 2nd, so I had to wait a little bit. I was able to film the video here, the testing portion, before the surgery, just that week before. So I had to try and get all that done. We had some things get in the way before that. And then for a while now, I've had to heal up. As of May 2nd or 3rd, somewhere right around there, I didn't write it down, but I was able to achieve 90 degrees of bend in my knee. It's been a bit of a struggle to get there, but I've been working with the physical therapist consistently, and I have a pretty good one, and everything's been going nicely. So I'm happy about that. That's a pretty big benchmark there. It's amazing what you take for granted. So take care of your knees, people. Anyway, I'm hoping as the next few months go by, I'll be able to do more videos like this. But in the meantime, let's dive right into this video, and then at the end, we'll talk a little bit more. So without further ado, here we go. All right, so for the first variation of the bone barrier test, anyone who's watched the channel before kind of has an idea of what we're going to do. But as you can see, the jugs are colored now. I've had a few people suggest this idea. The first person I've seen do this was Who, and he has a great channel. I recommend you go check him out. I kind of like the idea. We finally got around to trying it out. We'll see how it does. And no, that's not piss. That is just yellow food coloring. But here we have a jug at the front, and we have 8 going down lengthwise. We have 3 rows going widthwise. We're hoping to get the middle row, but if the bullet goes off to the side, we should be able to capture it. That's happened a lot in the past. With this round, I have my doubts, but we'll see how it does. And here we have a 1/4 inch thick piece of masonite with 2 layers of shop rag glued to the front. This is an effort to try to replicate a hide of an animal, for example. Not a perfect representation, but we found that it's does pretty well, and we've used it the entire time that we've done jug testing, just about. So we like keeping this as a consistent aspect of our testing. But here's the actual bone barrier that we're going to switch out during different parts of the video. We have 2 1/2 inch thick pieces of plywood, and this is going to represent kind of a softer bone. I've had a lot of people ask why I do the ceramic test that you'll see down the road. Well, we only do it because we also do more realistic bone barrier tests in the beginning, and this is going to represent kind of a softer bone. I kind of imagine like the shoulder blade of an animal being a lot like this. And we're just going to see how well this does, and we're going to take a step back and take our first shot. So here we go. Okay, so you can see here, absolutely annihilated this one. Good centering there for the shot. Here's our entry, and then our exit on the first board. I can't tell if it hit a little sideways or not, but here's the entry on the second board. And then a devastating exit hole here on the second. As you can see, there's some wood particles. I apologize for any wind noise, by the way. It was nice and calm right before filming. So here we have solid shot here. Just back. Right here. Ah, there's the bullet. All right, so let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually. If I can grab it. here's the bullet. So if we look at the jug here, got a nice exit, and then it dimpled this one right here. We come around to the side. I had a bit of a knee injury, so I'm kind of stumbling as I walk, so pardon me if I'm a little slow here. We got about 37 inches of penetration, so I'd say that did really well. I'll take a picture of that and then put it on screen for you. Well, unfortunately, I found out that the camera here, I overall really like it, but unfortunately it did not capture a slow motion shot of our shot that we just took there. So I apologize, folks. That's not right at all. I probably in the edit included this camera's point of view, but that wasn't as great a shot as I would like it to be. I'm just setting this guy to normal recording mode, and we'll just try to give you a side view. I'm hoping down the road we'll be able to make enough money to where we can get a slow motion camera. That would be genuinely wonderful. But until that point, we're just gonna have to stick with a solid side view. My apologies, folks. Okay, second shot here with the first variation of the bone barrier. Here we go. I'm behind the gun and I could feel that. All right, well, I would assume this was the first one here. I didn't keep as close an eye on it as I probably should have, but as you can see, that's just torn up. This jug down here that's split from the force knocking it over. Unfortunately, it looks like the shot was just slightly too far over. You can see here's the entry, exit, then the entry, the exit, and you can see it did go through the jug, didn't completely skate, so that's good. Looks like it went into this jug and into this one, into this one, I'm not seeing anything there. Don't see anything down in there. Looks like it probably would have hit and bounced off. I may just be blind right now, but I'm not seeing the bullet. I don't see where it could have gone over here. Well, we're going to need to keep our eye out, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it just went off and we may not find it for a while. Okay, so we're going to try another shot here. I move the boards, that way we're hitting an area that is untouched. And we moved the masonite here so we can aim lower down and have a spot that wasn't damaged yet. We're kind of running out of water jugs, so this is all we have, so we kind of jumbled them up just a little bit. Kind of annoys the OCD person inside of me, but mixing them up like this, but it's all good. We're gonna take a step back and hopefully we'll get a nice inline shot. Third shot, here we go. Man, that's awesome. So as you can see, knocked a couple down. This one has a big old split in the side. Oh man, this one is absolutely blown up. Blown to smithereens, if you will. So again, entry, exit, entry. It's a little hard to tell if it's actually going straight in or hitting at an angle. And exit. Looks like we got a pretty solid shot here, and it looks like it's nice and in line. Let's see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. It's on the, if I counted correctly, 7th jug. It looks like it may have gone out because I'm seeing, hopefully you guys can see this too. The GoPro I'm filming with keeps going black, the screen. I gotta mess with the settings, keep it on for longer. So I know what I'm looking at here. But it kind of went up, in, kind of out. Check here. Yeah, there's nothing in there. I think it's safe to say that it went out of the jugs. If I come around, we'll see that we're looking at about 40.5 inches. So that's pretty good. I think we can move on to the next bone barrier. All right, so we're back out today, and now we're looking at the second variation of the bone barrier. Now, as you can see, we've shot this board a few times. We've marked every shot that we've taken. We have a nice bare spot that we're going to be aiming for. The nice thing is about this material is that the structural integrity does not seem to be damaged by any of these shots unless it's right next to it. It's a very solid type of material. I think this is probably the most accurate bone barrier that we have. It's about 1/2 inch in thickness. Fantastic stuff. This is basically a nice heavy-duty cutting board. So we're going to see how well the round does with this barrier. Hopefully I have the coloration of the jugs correct. It's been a couple weeks since we were out for that first part of the video. So, all right, we're going to take a step back and we're going to take our first shot here. Here we go. All right, first shot with the second variation of the bone barrier. Here we go. Oh, nice. All right. Really well destroyed, this jug. Unfortunately, it looks like the shot was a little low. It's right down here. A little low, but it seems like it's pretty good so far. Looks like it started to go up just a little bit. Impacted this jug nicely. I'm not seeing anything here. Can't tell if there's a bullet in here or not. Yes, there is. All right. So let's see here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jugs. Let's go around. Now, kind of looking at the midline, we're about 39.5 inches. And there's your millimeter marks. So that's pretty good. Okay, let's pour this out and see how the bullet looks. There we are with the bullet. I'll take a nice up close picture for you, but so far it looks pretty good. Okay, we've put everything back in place. Time for a second shot with the second variation of the bone barrier. I'm standing behind the gun, but man, that thunder that thing creates is just impressive. I'm wondering if this was it. Yeah, I think this is it right there. Looks like we kind of hit on the side, but I'm not sure. Good.
She shoots low.
Yeah. That's it. All right, so looks like we nailed dead center though, so that's good. Not sure what happened with this one. It looks like it just kind of pushed its way through. Oh, there we are. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jugs. Stopped right there on the line, and the 7 started. Let's go around. So if we look right about here, looking at about 36.5 inches. Well, give or take. Looks like the bullet held up well. Even though we hit a spot that was already hit before, it looks like it actually slowed the bullet down just a tiny bit, because it didn't go into 7 jugs, it went into 6, so that's kind of interesting. The nice thing about this material though is that right around the entrance hole, it's still pretty solid material, as you can see here. It doesn't take very far for it to go back to being pretty solid stuff, unlike wood where it kind of fragments a bit. All right, we've decided to take a third shot just to be as thorough as possible. So here is the third shot with the second variation of the bone barrier. I moved the masonite around so that way we have a nice fresh area. No other shots are near there, hopefully, and same with the cutting board. So here we go. Whew. Oh man, all right, it looks like it skated around a little bit, so let's see here. Looks like that right there is our hit. So let's line it up. Yep, that's it. Nice damage on the masonite. Get the jug here. Let's see. So, you know, got it at a good height level. Unfortunately, it looks like it kind of went down and to the left. So let's see here. Kind of skated down this one so you can see it's not still. Let's get that. And I went into this one in the corner. Turn it around so you can see it more easily. I went through. Looks like it may have gone. It doesn't look like it went in there. Ah, there's the bullet. It's right down there. So I had enough movement or energy to go through, not enough to puncture anything. So let's go around here. So the last jug that it went through, the line is about 36 inches, give or take. The bullet has been found at about the 42.5, 43 inch mark. So let's take a look here. Again, the bullet has held up quite well. So as we can see here on the cutting board, I mean, it punches through quite well. Unfortunately, I think at this velocity it just kind of make it squirrely, but that's still pretty solid. It did not go out completely, and it wound its way up, being fairly close to center here, so I'll take it. Now we're going to move on to the next bone barrier. Here we go. All right, we're gonna get the rest of these filled up with the dye here, but in the meantime I want to go over this next bone barrier real quickly. So we have two roughly 1/4 inch thick ceramic tiles, and let me tell you folks, these are explosive, they're fun. They really do put the bullet through hell. We have a couple different types here, one that has a little bit of a coarser, well, not coarser, thicker makeup here, than one that's ever so slightly thinner. They're roughly the same. We've been trying to keep it even across the board, but you know, when you're purchasing these at little like thrift store type things, you know, you can't always be picky. So this is approximately what we've used before. It's close enough for government work, if you will. So we're gonna make it work here. We did move everything off just a little bit, so that way we can hit a nice new spot. I don't have to move the board anywhere. This is easily the toughest bone barrier we have ever used. So I am quite curious to see just what happens. So we're gonna take a step back, we're gonna take our shot, so here we go. All right, first shot with the third variation of the bone barrier. Here we go. Looks like 5 jugs back. They may have a bullet. At least some fragments. Let's see. Oh, okay. It did go out. Oh, yeah. Into this one. Oh, yeah, we got a bullet in there. Okay. It's peeing all over the place. All right. Oh, wow. There it is. It mushroomed quite a bit. Look at how deformed that is compared to the other bullets. As you can see, I mean, it just got annihilated here. The ceramic tile, that is. It did kind of skate down and to the left again. But for a bullet that looks like that, I'll take it. All right, second shot with the third variation of the bone barrier. Here we go. Fantastic. All right. Nice center shot there. See, there we go. All separated, so that's nice. I don't even know where the... Okay, there it is. It's down there. So, looks like out of this jug into this one. And I don't think it went into this jug. see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's right down there. Hopefully I gave you a side view the last time. I'm not sure if I did, but here we have right about 28. If you're going by the middle, closer to the end, you're looking at 30 inches. Oh, fantastic. Look, there's even a little bit of that residue. And we used 2 of the thicker, ever so slightly thicker ceramic tiles for this one. Not that it'll make a massive difference, but just thought I'd let you know. So I'm going to take a picture of that. And we're going to move on with the chronograph testing. Okay, now for the chronograph testing with the Buffalo Bore 460 Rowland rounds. Let's see how it does. 1,263. Well, now see, that's just annoying. No offense to Caldwell, just whenever it's cloudy, it happens a lot. 1,258. Failure of the feed. Another error. 1,254.
Soon after.
1,243. 1,248. 1,259. 1,247. 1,254. All right, guys, we're back, and now we are going to go over all of the testing results. Now, one of the reasons why I'm inside today is because it is kind of nasty out. It's raining. It's got some wind going on. Just not great weather to be outside. And with my knee still healing up and my balance is, okay. I still want to be careful, though, because with all the mud out right now, it's very easy for me to slip and slide, and I do not want to get further injuries. So I'm inside for today. But to start us out here, I wanted to go over the firearm. It's a Kimber Custom 2 45 ACP, and we use the Clark 460 Rowland kit. Now that's important because, well, I'm just going to tell you right now, we did have some issues with feeding with this round. Now, Dad is the one who was doing the shooting, and he did try, I think, some Underwood Ammo Extreme Penetrators, and it did pretty much flawlessly, as far as I'm concerned. It did really well, and we did put a little bit more oil on there, made sure everything was cycling, and we were able to get slightly improved performance with the Buffalo Bore rounds here, but it still wanted to jam up. And I don't like that. That doesn't make me very comfortable. Now, I don't know if the official 460 Rowland kit from Rowland themselves will perform better with this ammunition or not. I don't know if we need to polish the feeding ramp. I don't know if the springs are too strong or not strong enough. Any of that. If you've had the same kind of experience with this ammunition, please let me know what you did, if there was anything you could do to solve that problem. I know there's a few different things we could try to do. It's not my gun, so I don't know if we'll try that or not, but I'd like to know if there's actually some way of improving the performance here, because jamming does not make me comfortable. About every second, maybe third shot, it would try and jam up, and I'm not real comfortable with that. So when I say I like this round, because I do, I say that with a caveat that you need to make sure that the round actually performs well in your gun. I don't know if there's something that we need to change, again, like the springs or not, but that does make me uncomfortable. I don't like that. Typically with semi-autos versus revolvers, there's always the argument that your gun could jam if you use a semi-auto. And that is true, but it's more of a hypothetical with most semi-autos. But with this round right here, it's more of a, it's not an if, but it's a when. And I don't like that. So just be aware before you go out and buy this ammunition, because on paper and, just the testing itself, it did really well, except for how often it wanted to jam. And I don't like that. So the feeding issues were a problem for us. Now, I would like to test out Underwood Ammo's hardcasts for the 460 Rowland to see if they perform any better or the same, perform even worse. But until I'm able to do that, I just don't know. The Extreme Penetrators, which is a very different round, did do well. So I'm looking into testing those as well. But anyway, just wanted to give that warning up front. Now, as far as the chronograph results go, let's get those out of the way. Now, as you saw there, we took a lot of shots because we did have some issues with the chronograph. This has happened continually. It's just this time it was worse than usual, and I thought I'd just show you guys for once. Usually I cut it out of the videos. I don't do that to be dishonest. I just do it because it really just takes up time. But as you could see there, we did experience some problems there, and so we took a number of shots. And so I'm just going to list them right there. The overall average was 1,253.25 feet per second, or 381.9906 meters per second. I thought I'd include the metric system for you. So, as far as the bullet weights, we captured 6 bullets, and if I counted correctly, we took 8 shots in total. So 2 of them kind of escaped. That's unfortunate, but we caught 6 bullets. I'm pretty happy about that. The first 4 came out at 240.5 grains, 241.8 grains, 241.0, just 241 grains, and then 240.3 grains in weight, which came out to an average of 240.9 grains in weight. Then for the deformed rounds, the first one came in at 229.3 grains, and then the second one came in at 234.4 grains, which came out to an average of 237.883 grains in weight. Now, as far as the bullet heights went, measuring the size of the bullets, the first 4, they didn't mushroom at all, so just measuring the height of the bullets. I did not extract a new bullet just to measure it, because I see that as a waste, if I'm being honest. And I'm sure someone has a reference of just how large those bullets are from the factory, so if anyone knows, that would be great. I hate pulling a bullet apart like that because I have no way of putting it back together, and I feel like I just wasted a round that I could have used. Maybe that's just me. But as far as the bullets that we caught, just measuring the height of them, as you can see here, here are the 4, and the average came out to 0.63325 inches, or 16.084 millimeters in height. And then as far as the deformed bullets went, we measured the height and then also the widest point for them. So the first one came in at 0.511 inches, or exactly 13 millimeters tall, and came in at 0.638 inches, or 16.205 millimeters at the widest point. Then the second bullet came in at 0.437 inches, or 11.0998 millimeters in height, at its tallest point, by the way, for both of them, by 0.711 inches, or 18.07 millimeters at its widest point. And just averaging that out, not that it's needed, but I like doing that, came in at an average of 0.474 inches, or 12.0396 millimeters in height, and an average of 0.6745 inches, or 17.13 millimeters at the widest points. That's a lot to get out. So, the deformed bullets, they really squished down quite a bit. They flattened out quite a lot, actually. But, looking at the weights, starting out 255 grains, the lowest one there, 229.3 grains, that is a lot of loss. But overall, it's not horrible. They penetrated farther than I thought they would have, given how much they flattened out. So I'm actually kind of proud of these rounds. So now looking at the energy that the rounds hit with, averaging it out, looking at the average bullet weight without the deformed bullets of 240.9 grains of weight, and then the average chronograph result, which was 1,253.25 feet per second, we get an average of 839.998 foot-pounds of force, 1.1388 kilojoules of force, a Taylor KO of 19, and a momentum of 43. With the deformed bullets added in, you're looking at 829.478 foot-pounds of force, 1.1246 kilojoules of force, Taylor KO of 19, and a momentum of 42. Now, with that first one there that you saw, that was with the average bullet weight that we collected at 240.9 grains of weight. But while recording this, I realized I should have factored in also the standard bullet weight that it's advertised at, 255 grains. So I went back and added that up. So looking at the average with the same feet per second rate, but now the bullets are 255 grains, you're looking at 889 foot-pounds of force, 1.2055 kilojoules of force per shot, a Taylor KO of 20, and a momentum of 45. So thought I'd add that in there for you. Now, looking at what we collected with the 1,253.25 feet per second and 839.998 foot-pounds of force per shot, you're looking at a pretty powerful round. Let's see here, 889 foot-pounds of force is even better if you're looking at just the bullets before they exit the gun. But it still is below what Buffalo Bore advertises, which is kind of interesting to me, because in the past, typically what we found is that Buffalo Bore puts out very fair numbers, and we tend to get rounds, performance actually, that is as good, if not maybe slightly better than what Buffalo Bore advertises. But here, Buffalo Bore advertises 1,300 feet per second and 957 foot-pounds of force per shot. 838, let's just say 840 for sake of ease here. 840 foot-pounds of force, or 889 foot-pounds of force, still is not quite as good as 957. It's not a massive decrease, but it isn't quite as good. So that was a little bit of a bummer. There's a number of different factors that could come into why their numbers are slightly better than ours. Typically, though, Buffalo Bore is really conservative with their numbers, so I'm not going to pick at that. I'm not calling them liars or anything. They always post on their page what they did to get those numbers and what they tested, which is really nice. They're very transparent about that, and I appreciate it. It's just a little bit of a bummer. Let's put it that way. Now looking at the average penetration for the rounds. I haven't done this in the past because I haven't done as good a job keeping note. And the side views, we can't really read what the ruler says there. But this time I tried making more of a point of doing that, as you could see there. And so the average, and this is estimated because I'm still going by just kind of eyeballing it, but it seems the average penetration without the third variation, bone barrier, the ceramic there, was 37.583 inches, give or take. With that third variation bone barrier, just across all barriers, the estimated average is about 36.06 inches. And that's pretty good. And as you saw, the rounds hit with a lot of force. I could feel those rounds go off. I mean, that shock wave. It does have a muzzle brake on the end there. And I could feel it. And even though I was wearing hearing protection, I could still hear it too, very, very loudly. So keep that in mind if you want to get this for bear protection. If you do have to fire off a couple rounds, it could cause you some ear damage. Unfortunately, that's the same case with the new gun I just purchased, my Taurus Raging Bull. It has a 6.75 inch barrel, I want to say. It's got the longer barrel on it. It's not that really long 8 inch, but it's that 6 inch something barrel. And it does have porting on the end of it. So unfortunately, if I do have to fire off that round without hearing protection, I could cause myself some hearing damage. And I'm not terribly happy about that. So just carrying my earplugs with me whenever I want to go hunting. I would like to upgrade to the electronic ones at some point down the road. But until that point, I'm stuck with the good old faithful hearing protection that everyone can afford. But just keep that in mind. Try not to use your gun unless you have to. Warning shot is perfectly acceptable if you feel the need to do so. But this is also where bear spray can come in handy if it isn't windy. Sometimes it is the better option. It's all dependent upon you and your needs in the moment, and just generally speaking as well. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this round, just not real happy as far as how it performed out of our gun with that jamming feeding issue. So again, if you guys have dealt with this before and you know what to do, please drop a comment down below. And please let me know what you think about this round. Did you like the performance? Is this something that, as long as it feeds well through your gun, you would feel comfortable carrying? I'd like to know. If you've ever had to use the 460 Rowland in a defensive scenario also, I'd like to know that too. Thank you guys so much for putting up with me. It's been a little while since I've done one of these videos. It feels good putting one together again. And I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you share, please click that share button down below and copy the link. That way YouTube knows you're sharing my video. If you want to donate to the channel, I'll have my paypal.me link down below so you can do that. $1, $5 goes a long way to help support the channel. But even just watching an ad all the way through, if possible, if it's a shorter one, means a lot to me. It really does help. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.